Let's go. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure to hit that notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the MCU Blade movie disaster. So I did do a video about this movie, particularly I think about a few months ago on the channel. You guys really liked that video, and I said, well, I can't really do another one of these until we get an update, and we have an update for it, and it's not looking pretty good. Now, to really go down about how bad of a disaster this film has actually been, let's start from the very beginning. So back in 2019, Kevin Feige at the San Diego Comic-Con went up on stage and announced that Mahershala Ali is the MCU Blade, okay? So then a fan asked, will it be rated R? He says, no, it's PG-13 and you're going to like it. So that was already a huge red flag right there, that a Blade movie is not going to be rated R. Now, I've always said before, I've always been consistent with this, ratings technically are a thing that you can debate amongst yourself if it will hinder or help the movie. Now, a Blade movie, I think, will be beneficial to have an R rating, in my own personal opinion. But, you know, movies can be rated R and suck, and be PG-13 and be masterpieces. That's a coin toss, obviously. So then after that, we literally had no update on this movie for about 2 years or 2.5 years, because it was like in July that Comic-Con happened, right? So then it was randomly inserted on their IMDb page that the movie was actually going to start filming in Atlanta. Now keep in mind, they didn't announce this. It was just someone from the production, I heard, just kind of updated it, that they got the word that they're going to start doing filming in Atlanta. No announcement of this from any major big media outlet, nothing. Then after that, it was revealed that the movie was going to start filming in Atlanta and that it was actually going to get released in 2023. So then after that, it came out that they fired the director. Now keep in mind here, keep in mind, this is the key piece of context no one has been brought up in any of their videos. They never announced a director. They never announced a writer. They never announced a producer. They announced nothing. They just randomly fired a director. And I'm like, wait a minute, whoa. You didn't announce a director. How did you fire a guy you didn't announce? It's like, what the fuck? They actually, I shit you, I don't think it's ever happened for a super movie, ever. They fired someone that you didn't even know existed. It's fucking crazy, right? After that, they get another guy on, okay? And you're like, okay, production's gonna speed up. But then come the leaks. It turns out what you guys thought was true. It turns out they were going to do a bait and switch for Blade like they did with the other MCU movies that people don't like. They were going to have his daughter take over the Blade mantle toward the end of the movie.
3 other women.
Yes. And beat the main villain, and Blade was going to be a side character in its own movie, which is literally titled Blade.
Yeah.
After that, Kevin Feige, around that time period, scrapped the Daredevil show that was going to have him in costume for 4 episodes, and then at that moment in time, they had scrapped the Blade movie that they were working on, and they had, somewhere was an announcement where he said, we're going to be really trying to work on this movie or something like that. I remember that he had made some comment about it where they were going to basically start from scratch again with the director they have right now. And yeah, now we're at this point. That guy's gone.
Yep. Fired another one.
They actually fired another director. How hard can it be to write a movie about a guy who slays vampires? Now, I've told people before, I've never watched the originals, right? I'm not a guy that's really into Blade as a character. He's cool. I have some comics from him. There's a life where I'm not into a black guy. Is that
how do you know Wesley Snipes then? I know, because it is the quintessential Snipes there, man.
I will watch.
You've got to see him go from normal to super crazy over the course of 3 movies. It is great.
Yeah, to the point where he didn't even show, he was barely on set. Only for close-ups.
To the point where he wouldn't even open his eyes when he was on set, and they had to CGI his eyes open sometimes.
Yep.
Now, I will say this. Mahershala Ali, I think, has been a straight professional throughout all this. He's not exactly went out there and lambasted Marvel or anything. He's actually said really nothing about it, honestly. There have been rumors that he's super unhappy with how the production has been slowly not going anywhere, but those are obviously rumors, so you can take that for what it is, right? And looking at it now, this movie, guys, was already supposed to be out last year. From 2019 to 2023, that's more than time to get this done. They haven't got it done. And then there's been another update about something else that ended up happening from his attorney, actually. So let's get in further deep down its road.
So I want to go super deep with you. Trust me. But
Yes.
I don't know. Before we get super deep, do you have any hope for this? Because like previously they said like this was going to be focused more on like the daughter and it was kind of the handing of the torch tale. Now they've changed that, or at least in the last two big announcements, they've said that they've completely rewritten it. It is now going to be Blade focused. It's not going to be as much on her. Does that give you any hope that they're trying to take it in a different direction than apparently what some deem to be a failure?
Little slight tread, only because he did do it with Daredevil. Now, I'm not saying because he just did it with Daredevil, he'll do it with every single project, but could that be that's the only line that I could think is what's going through? Because what else would it be?
I think my Ali's had enough. I think he's fucking done, to be honest. I think he's had enough of this shit. If one does one, I'm predicting one more hiccup, he's going.
It sucks because they teased it in like the Eternals, which was when the hell was that even out there? But
it was him. It's his voice.
It's his voice.
I wanted to see him as this character. I really like Mahershala Ali. I think he could have pulled this off really well. He could have given a even better Snipes than Snipes. But I don't know. Maybe we'll never get this.
And for those of you who don't know, yes, I will eventually watch the Blade movies. Don't worry, I'm a superhero movie connoisseur. I love the black men, But I think another huge issue with this is I think the reason why it's been getting scrapped as much as it has, they have no idea how to write the character. It's been very, very provable throughout these last couple of years that they have no idea who these characters even are sometimes when they're writing for them.
As the problem, they're not hiring writers; they're casting writers. They're casting the production crew. They're not hiring the production crew, and I stand by what I said. Give a fucking regular Joe Blow a chance to write and teach a Joe Blow how to write a script, how a script needs to look. Give a Joe Blow 6 weeks, 6 months to write a script, whatever, and see what they come up with. I can guarantee you'll be better than anything these motherfuckers are putting out.
Yeah. And I want to go over WZ's comment here. Ali is losing years in which he could be acting in other movies, waiting this long. I hope he's getting some type of payment. The payment's not happening. You know how that works with Hollywood, man. If they can't pay you, they won't.
Well, no, but there's some actors that work out contracts that if I'm tied up for the X amount of time, you have to start paying me.
Yeah, which is true. Yeah, and the thing is, that's also outside of the money. I think that with that WZ's comment, it makes a lot of sense too. We're just wasting time here. It's not about the money. Time is valuable. He is isn't already old as fuck, honestly, in terms of
his 50s.
50s? Yeah, he's already kind of getting there. I mean, Idris Elba can still. Yeah, I mean, Idris Elba can still do it, but I'm saying not everybody's gonna have the same level of health or good health when you get older. Is he gonna be 60 playing Blade? They are literally just wasting his time. This is why I do not like when they do these things, because they're trying to show, oh, we like black people, we'll hire a black person. Oh, you like black people, right? Why are you treating this? They're literally treating this guy like shit.
Yeah, big time.
They love you. They love black people, right? Disney, you love virtue signaling, right? Why is his movie taking this long? Someone's like,
how expensive is this movie? Between all the rewrites, between all the pre-production, this thing has to be a goddamn just money pit. I wonder if they can make any money back on this.
Because the other thing to bring up here is, I know this happens to a lot of people. They'll say, well, they're taking it long for quality. What? How many times have we heard that?
No.
They're taking long to get it done because they're going to make a quality product. Yeah, that's usually a line of bullshit. A actual line of coke bullshit that Nick Recato would snort up his nose. With the MCU's Blade losing its second director, can the movie still be saved? Blade's reboot movie is plagued by director and writer exits, leading to doubts about its future. The decline of the MCU's popularity makes Blade's success uncertain in the present landscape. Despite ongoing production setbacks, shelving Blade for now may be the best move for the MCU's future. The Marvel Cinematic Universe reboot of Blade was announced when the brand was at the zenith of its cultural and box office power. Sadly, the movie has yet to come to fruition, namely due to directors and writers constantly entering and exiting the project. This begs the question whether the movie is cursed, and given other circumstances, it's equally questionable if it should be scrapped entirely. there's a lot going against the Blade reboot movie, namely its own troubled history. On top of that, the shared universe that it's a part of isn't quite as powerful as it once was. Likewise, the MCU fans know it might not even be long for this world anymore. Thus, the planned Blade movie could soon be facing a tumultuous sunrise that even the Daywalker can't survive. In February 2019, actor Mahershala Ali approached Marvel Studios to portray Blade the Vampire Hunter in a new movie. And keep in mind, to already get this going so they could make the announcement, he would have had to have approached them back in like 2018. You know? Way early before that. The actor had previously played Cottonmouth in the first season of Netflix and Marvel's Luke Cage, and while the character and portrayed were well received, the show and its contemporaries had a tenuous continuity with the Marvel Cinematic Universe at the time. It wasn't until the release of 2024's Echo TV series that their canonicity was finally confirmed. Yeah.
That's quick.
Years before, in July 2019, however, the Ali-starred Blade MCU movie was officially announced. Sadly, things would not be smooth sailing afterward, with the movie facing several delays and setbacks. Beyond the obvious crush card virus pandemic that had a major impact on both the movie-making industry and the world at large in 2020, there were various other issues plaguing Blade. Stacey Osei Kuffer and Bassem Tariq were hired to write and direct, but the latter left the project a year later. Remember, these people they didn't announce. They didn't announce these people at all. Yan Demange replaced him, with Michael Starbury also rewriting the story for Blade. Likewise, Nick Pizzolatto was added as popular writer for the film in April 2023. But by the end of the year, Michael Green was brought on to craft a new script. Look at all these. Look at this. This isn't untrue. Wait, this is happening.
Go to next paragraph. Another writer.
Oh, the latest version of said script is now being worked on by Eric Pearson, who's also working on the script for the upcoming movie The Fantastic Four. At the same time, Demange has just left Blade, leaving the movie without a director once more. This is like awful here. There are several rumors about why people are leaving the project, with the recurring thought being that it's simply not been given a good script yet. It's still set for a November 2025 release date. Yeah, that's not happening. Just saying, that's not happening. But with how much trouble it's had, some question if it will actually be worth the wait. It won't. These things literally... How many movies has people gone through in their life where you knew the production was troubled and setback, and it came out like a really good movie? Like, how many times really has that happened? I'd imagine not that many.
No.
After all, it will be released to a public that's not nearly as big on the MCU as it once was. See, that's agreeable. By the time this movie comes out, the MCU is not as a titan as it once was, i.e. the Marvel's box office shows that, and the other ones that have not made profit for the MCU. You know?
Yeah. I know Disney has a hit with Inside Out 2. A couple people I know who went to see it who are
biggest opening of 2024 so far, which is good. It's awesome.
Said it's if you like the first one, it's fantastic. It's very good. If you have kids around the age of 12, 13, it's a good insight to there. It's a good for them to watch it too, because it all, like the first one, helps them work through emotions they're getting. But that and then Deadpool back-to-back hits, that doesn't matter. They're not out of the woods yet.
When Blade was announced in 2019, it seemed as if Marvel Studios could do no wrong. The release of Avengers Endgame was the culmination of the previous decade of Marvel Cinematic Universe movies, and it became a theatrical cultural phenomenon. Thus, announcing Blade at the time made sense, especially as the MCU entered its next era, the shit era. Unfortunately, Phase 4 and 5 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe have not been the success stories that were seen in the previous movies. In Phase 4, the only movies that were truly well received across the board were Spider-Man No Way Home, a Sony co-production that also banked on nostalgia. That's just wrong.
That was not well received.
That did not make profit.
No, and
Also,
neither was Shang-Chi. Neither of those movies were well received across the board.
yeah,
Neither of them.
Shang-Chi is okay. It's okay. It's not like
is
terrible.
the only movie I'll ever would ask my money back. It's that movie.
Well,
I didn't see
MSK was calling it one of Aquafina's top 3 performances.
Aquafina is trash.
That's like saying it's one of my top 3 piles of shit.
Also, Shang-Chi made like $400 million at the box office, but that was peak crush card virus. So do with that information what you will. The next several movies were either critical disappointments, box office flops, or both. Damn, I agree, man. Shill Media calling out the MCU, man. I guess when shit hits the fan, you really got to just start turning the other cheek, right?
But they just said Wakanda Forever was a success.
Yeah, it's always putting their foot in their mouth, It never ends.
I think you just mixed like 5 metaphors in this like last 2 sentence stretch, sir.
They call me a genius, Gray. Do you understand that?
Nobody has ever said that. But
hello.
Yeah.
Legacy sequels such as Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and especially Thor: Love and Thunder, were seen as major decreases in quality compared to the predecessors. I agree. Conversely, the MCU saw its first major box office bombs in the form of Eternals and the Marvels. Shang-Chi was also a bomb. Shang-Chi's budget is like $200 million. Also adding to the downward spiral of interest were the various Marvel Cinematic Universe shows on Disney+. This created a indulge of content that made many jump off the MCU train, as it was simply too much to keep up with. It wasn't even that. This shit just isn't good, okay? If they made content that people were genuinely interested in, they would have literally kept watching. First of all, you got too much of it, and the too much of it that you got all suck, except for like insert whatever project you personally like, and it had nothing to do with keep up with. People were fine to do it up until a certain point. They were like, you know what? This is trash. I'm not doing this anymore. Had nothing to do with keeping up. That is a complete lie. People did it with the other fucking phases throughout the years. This one was no different. Oh, well, there's shows. Okay, whatever, I guess. It didn't help that the Disney Plus content wasn't as good as things had been beforehand. Thus, the days of the Marvel Cinematic Universe being able to launch obscure characters into the mainstream were seemingly over, which doesn't bode well for even the established Blade. Another issue to worry about, especially given this reception, is whether the MCU will still be around when the film comes out. Avengers Secret Wars is one of the planned upcoming MCU projects coming down the pipeline, and it will seemingly be an adaptation of the 2015 Secret Wars storyline. So it's not the original one, right? Oh, yeah, Lord, no. Jesus Christ. There's still a lot of speculation about the movie, namely because its predecessor was going to be titled Avengers the Kang Dynasty. Kang the Conqueror was played by Jonathan Majors, but due to the controversy surrounding the actor, Kang is being recast, if not shelved entirely. They gotta stop doing that shit. Just recast, okay? Don't cancel the character moving forward, because just fucking cast the characters. Stop stopping characters existing because you just recast them. If the person isn't as good as the other guy, at least the character gets to continue still. Who gives a fuck, honestly? Just recast them. This leaves things up in the air about the direction of the other Marvel Cinematic Universe, but fans are already suspecting that things will never be the same after Secret Wars comes out. To be fair, things haven't been the same since Endgame, so that shit was already sailed. After all, that event slightly rebooted the Marvel Universe in the comics, with fans suspecting that something similar might happen to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I think it's never mind.
Go ahead.
No, nothing. Go on.
This means that after the movie comes out, the MCU, the world of the Fox X-Men movies, and perhaps even Sony Spider-Man universe will be united into one world. It could simply be that the MCU is rebooted and retconned, paving the way for a much different version of the shared universe that features new actors playing classic characters, even if the latter is cemented. It could very well be the swan song of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, thus anything introduced right beforehand would be there simply to be rebooted afterwards. While none of this is confirmed, there are some people questioning whether to actually get invested in ideas such as a new Blade or Fantastic Four movie. Oof, that's the thing too. Is remember there's this other article we'll cover in another episode where they're going to be casting all these actors to come up in Secret Wars. Yeah, good Lord, they're just pushing every single fucking piece of nostalgia that they can.
Yeah.
Given all of its current issues, Blade may never see the light of day. Well, no pun intended. Especially if Marvel Studios tries to get Secret Wars as soon as possible. Even if that movie isn't a reboot per se, there's a general sense that Marvel is rushing toward it in order to restore former hype and attention. The irony is that this plan might work, but that it's best to introduce new franchises afterwards. This way, there will be more attention on the Marvel Cinematic Universe than there currently is, and the general aura will be more positive again. That's a better circumstance for Blade to release and compare to the general apathy that it and the MCU as a whole currently have. If anything, Blade can be the first movie in a post-Secret Wars Marvel Cinematic Universe, establishing a darker and more supernatural tone while also setting the stage for a Midnight Suns crossover down the road. Yeah, they can barely do one character right now. Let's not worry about groups of people together, actually. Yeah. In the vein of the original Avengers movie. Of course, if the movie is delayed too much longer, it will likely mean recasting the title character and getting rid of Mahershala Ali. As unfortunate as that would be, it's likely the best option for having Blade as a character who's in the MCU long-term going forward. Hopefully the movie's script and director will be also ironed out by then, allowing for its production to go far more smoothly than it has so far. Well, we'll get you guys' final closing thoughts about this. This is a lot to go on with this Blade movie from 2019 all the way to now. Gray, I'll start with you, and then I'll bring up the other piece of context to show you guys, given how bad the situation really is. So, Gray, what are your closing thoughts about the MCU Blade movie disaster?
I guess maybe it's the whole like sunken cost fallacy. Like, we spent this much on it, but damn it, I want to see Mahershala Ali as Blade. Like, I think that would be great. I wish they could just give him an actual story. You know, here's like a novel idea. You've got a shitload of comics that you could go base any of those stories on. Why not just grab one of those as the actual story? Like, why do we need 12 writers in here just to come up with some way to pass the torch to this character that we haven't really introduced in like 30 years or something like that? I guess it's not quite 30, but
98 when the first one came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess I want to see it, but at this point, it feels like it's too much. I don't know. You mentioned not wanting to do a whole bunch of like group movies, but sadly, that's kind of what they have lined up for the future. They've got like the whole X-Men they're bringing in, Fantastic Four. They've got the next Avengers one. Yeah. So I'm not sure. I think they are going that route because you get a little bit more bang for your buck. You don't have to actually focus on each person. I don't know. I don't have hope that they're going to do it well. I would like to see this, but goddamn, the fact that they don't even have like a script or a director, anything on this, I think it's too far gone. I think they should call it, but they're not exactly in the habit of doing that. But I heard somebody else say TV show. This would be great as a series. Why not?
They can't make
Switch
TV.
it.
Let's not even. They can't make TV. I'm tired of them doing TV. That's my opinion.
Hey,
They
have you not heard
at all? That's so bad.
Have you not heard of Winter Soldier and the Falcon? I hear you talking about it nonstop.
All right, Darnell, what are your closing thoughts on the situation with the MCU Blade movie disaster?
I want to say, like Gray, and say I'm excited to see it. I want to see Ali as Blade, but I think it's done. I know there's gonna be another delay, and I think Ali's gonna fucking back out after that. The guy has been jerked around for 5 years, almost 5 years. As an actor, I'd be pissed. Even if I was getting paid. Like at first, yeah, you pay me to sit around and wait. Yeah, that's fine. Now I'm like, fuck off. This is a character I really care about. Money even
worth it? The time
that's what I'm saying.
Wasted. Yeah,
I think he cares a lot about the character because he wouldn't have approached Disney if he wasn't passionate about the character. He's done. I think the whole thing is done. I'm expecting it to be announced as scrapped by December.
Oh, yeah.
How long can they string him along too? Like he was off some major wins when they first got him, and he's got to be champing at the bit, whatever the saying is, to get going back on something.
Yeah.
But, I want to show you guys this before I do my closing thoughts on this. This is something that his attorney said. Mahershala Ali's attorney, Shelby Weiser, on the delayed production of Blade. She says, and I quote, "The deal was in 2019, and they still haven't shot it," which is pretty much the craziest thing in my professional experience. And
that means he's getting paid. He's still getting paid. He is still getting a paycheck to sit around and wait. That I have no doubt that's what that means.
Yep.
Well, he had just come off of like what, Moonlight and the Green Book or whatever. Like he had been, if not nominated, he had won for a lot of things. That keeping him on the back burner, that's got to be costly, especially like right at that time at 2019. So I hope he's making bank. If not, that's a crappy contract.
Yeah. So even his attorneys, like they ain't shit. They ain't doing anything. This is just wasting people's time. If you, or let's just say this, maybe they had a change of heart and they don't want him as Blade. Then get rid of him and get someone else. Then quit wasting.
Yeah, get the
time.
Rock in there.
Like
make
make
a decision. Stop wasting people's time.
They could be trying to make him quit because if he quits, there could be something in his contract.
They'll have to pay him out of his contract, which is a lot of money.
If he quit, and that could be happening. They could have decided, hey, we'll take the hit for like a few years to get him out of here.
Well, as you guys know, that artwork, that page right there, that's my favorite Blade splash page in the comic books. Man, that art is so cool. Makes him like such a badass. I will watch the Blade movies. I am. It's really pissing me right now. I will get to them. I'm being honest here. This reminds me of the Flash movie situation from DC. All of this reminds me of that. In the Flash movie, as we knew it, as we saw it, turned out just like absolute dog shit.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. As Invader, the last comment we'll have for the video closes out, he's getting paid, but he's still being held up for other opportunities. Yeah, that's the thing too. People have to know there's scheduling conflicts when it comes to actors. If he's waiting on this, if he takes another job, then maybe like Marvel calls him to start filming Blade. It's just a whole mess. Actually, it's just a whole mess. Like I'll play it two ways. I don't think we're getting the movie. I think it will be scrapped. I think they eventually might get another person. Well, I'll play it the other way. If we do ever get this with him, it's not going to be good. I just don't think so. There's no way you wait for something this long and it turns out good. I've seen way too many movies in my experience when this happens, and they always turn out like trash, for being honest here. There's not many movies I've been through this where it's turned out good. So, yeah, the MCU Blade movie disaster is absolutely atrocious, the way they're treating this guy, and apparently this company likes black people. Get the fuck out of my face with that. They're like, bruh, this company is trash. The MCU, as we know it, has been the same, and we are just watching their downfall. Deadpool Wolverine, as Darnell said, will save it, and then completely just crash and burn afterwards. Well, thank you guys for checking out this video. If you are a returning viewer or new viewer, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure to hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video or go live. I'm MSK, aka Master Swag King. We're signing out, guys.